How'd we get here? Texas wins a double overtime thriller to get to the Cotton Bowl, where it'll be a virtual home game for the Longhorns, but the Buckeyes travel well. Ohio State dominates Oregon 41-21 to get to the semis. They'll clash in the Cotton Bowl Friday, January 10th. Texas 2-1 all-time against Ohio State, the first meeting since Texas won the 2009 Fiesta Bowl. And here they are meeting in the Cotton Bowl on Friday, January 10th. All right, back here with former Louisiana running back Emory Hunt and former Ohio State running back Beanie Wells. Look, we've got a former quarterback that's going to be playing in this game from Ohio State. Former Ohio State quarterback Quinn Ewers facing his old team, taking on Will Howard and the Buckeyes. And look, if you're Quinn Ewers sitting there going, oh gosh, I got to face Ohio State. Beanie, who's the better quarterback?
But that's obviously from a talent perspective, you want to look at it and say Quinn Ewers, right? He can make every single throw out there. But right now, when we talk about efficiency and we talk about making sound decisions when it matters, I think you probably got to go Will Howard when you break it all the way down, apples to apple. Will Howard has been very efficient this year in big moments, and he's delivered. Quinn Ewers is chopped liver by any means, but I think he has more talent. But who's a better quarterback right now for their team? I'd go Will Howard.
I would go Will Howard as well. I feel like Howard has shown these last two games just how much he has improved and how much he has turned things around since the first matchup versus Oregon, when he had the Tim Tebow speech about this won't happen again. And also you had him come off of a Michigan game and where he didn't play his best ball. In the last two playoff games, he has gotten hot. We've seen this before from Ohio State quarterbacks getting hot in the postseason. Our colleague Cardell Jones did a great job getting hot in the postseason. And I feel like Will Howard is playing really good football. He's expanding their passing game, and that's going to be the biggest key moving forward. So I would have to say Will Howard. His deep ball is a little bit better.
All right. Yeah, Will Howard is a clean sweep here. Continue our tale of the tape. Which skill players will shine? And there's only one correct answer. And the correct answer is the young man who had 7 catches for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Rose Bowl. His name is Jeremiah Smith, Emory. That's the skill player that's going to shine in the Cotton Bowl.
I mean, yes, that's one. But, I mean, when you look at these backs, we got a quartet of backs in this ball game. So all these backs that we're going to see, folks, and, yes, this is big running back agenda here. We got myself, got Beanie Wells, a legend out there. He understands what this means. These dudes can run the football, and it always comes down late in the season, who can run the football, who can stop the run. Can you stop the physicality coming from Ohio State? Look at that OT formation we got thrown up there as well, too. So I like the fact that we got 4 backs on each side of the football that's going to be the ones that decide the difference of this ballgame.
We got Quintravion Wisner. We got Jaden Blue. We got another dude with first name with Q, Quinshawn Judkins. And then we got Travion Henderson, who I think is probably the best back of all 4 of those guys, if you ask me. Beanie, when you look at the skill players, don't forget about Gunnar Helm from Texas. I mean, this is a very good Texas team as well. I know we want to give a lot of credit to Ohio State, but there's a reason why the Longhorns are in this spot.
Oh, no doubt about it. You know, not just Gunnar Helm, you know, Matthew Golden. They have playmakers as well and guys that can get it done when they got the ball in their hands. So it's going to be an exciting game. Most certainly, you know, when you look at Sark and what he does with offenses and how creative he's been in his career, you know he's going to scheme up some things to get his guys open, get the ball in his playmakers' hands, and allow those guys to make big plays in the open space. So it's going to be an exciting matchup. A lot of points, a lot of yards. I can't wait for it. You know, I love this matchup versus Texas. I think this could be one of those games that we're talking about being a historic one down the stretch.
This is going to be fun.
The speed on the field indoors is going to be insane.
Yep. Yes.
I
can't wait.
This ain't the old Cotton Bowl. You know, when you playing in the high grass. This is in Jerry's world. This is a different Cotton Bowl.
Yes, it is. Defensively, this is also going to be a battle. Texas has a formidable pass defense. Ohio State allowed the fewest points per game in FBS. Ohio State just had 8 sacks against Dylan Gabriel. This is going to be a something's got to give matchup. Emory, who has the edge on defense?
I don't want to say who has the edge, but more so of who has to step up. Texas's secondary is going to have their hands full against this passing game of Ohio State. We know they have great corners. Malik Muhammad is one guy. You also have Jaden Barron, Jalen Gilbo, Gavin Holmes, great cornerbacks, but the safety play, you have Andrew Makuba, Mike Taft. Those guys have to really lock in and make sure they corral or consistently make this thing tough for this passing game of Ohio State. And because we know Ohio State has the elite game breakers to really expand the defense. And if you can't make this thing a, dink and dunk ball game, is going to be a problem. But what I love about Texas, all those dudes that I mentioned can all tackle. So it's going to be a physical game. They can make these one-on-one tackles in space and minimize those big plays. But that's the unit on Texas' side that'll have to step up.
I'm with you, Emory. I most certainly believe, I think Ohio State has the more talented defense, but I think Texas' defense is going to be so critical. Anthony Hill, when you talk about, Darren Sorrell, those type of guys are going to have to rush the passer on a consistent basis. You can't allow Will Howard time to sit back there in the pocket if you're going to have a chance to win this football game. We've seen the last couple of weeks what he's been able to do when his offensive line has shorted him time to sit back there and dissect defenses. If you're Texas, you're going to want to get pass rushers after him consistently, and not just on the outside edge. They're going to have to get guys from the interior spots to make him, force those erratic throws and be looking at the rusher, not looking downfield if they're going to have a chance to win this game.
All right, Ohio State opens as the favorite, 5.5 points.
Wow.
It's a neutral site, but it's a virtual home game in Arlington, Texas, outside of Dallas for Texas. I mean, they're going to have a bevy of fans there. But again, Ohio State travels well. Beanie knows that. Ohio State 5.5. Lay them. Beanie, lay the points. 5.5?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. Ohio State, just the way that they're playing right now, I'm supremely confident in how they can score. And we watched the game today. They essentially did what they wanted to do outside of a few miscues, a few drop balls, and a few erratic throws. They did what they wanted to do and scored at will. And I don't see that being any different versus Texas, especially if they do not get the pass rush that they need.
Do you want to give me a heat check right now? Because we're sort of, me and Beanie are sort of, I mean, I feel like we're kind of like, we're all over Ohio State, of course. But like, you want to heat check me right now? Yeah, because maybe I'm feeling too good right now in the moment. And I'm like, yeah, I might, if they said lay 9.5, then I'll pause for a second. Like, okay, that's a lot of points, 9.5. 5.5, that's inside a touchdown. I'm pretty good with that. I feel pretty comfortable, even if I didn't root for Ohio State.
If we just focus on the 2 playoff games that we watched Texas allow Clemson to hang around and allow Arizona State to come back, hang around, come back, and push that game to overtime. We've seen Ohio State blow out Tennessee and just blow out Oregon. So Ohio State's defense right now is in a finish mode. Their offense is in a aggressive mode to really put you away. So I have to trust Ohio State. And you're right, this is an easier number than a double-digit number. And so, yes, I can lay these 5.5 with Ohio State based on what I saw in these 2 postseason games. It has nothing to do with the regular season. This is a whole different season, and Ohio State looks like it's ready to play, and it came to show up for business.
Ohio State and Texas in the national semis here for a spot in the Natty in Atlanta. Beanie Wells Emory Hunt here on CBS Sports HQ. This is going to be a fantastic game as you take a look at the series history between Texas and Ohio State. Texas has won 2 of the 3 matchups, but they haven't met since the 2008 season, so it's been a while. They know each other well. Steve Sarkisian, Ryan Day going head-to-head. Who will come out on top 9 days from now in the Cotton Bowl?